Have you ever imagined a place so cold that your eyelashes freeze before you even blink? A land where boiling water turns into a cloud of snow in midair, where cars never sleep, and where people walk through streets colder than the surface of Mars. This isn't some sci-fi planet frozen in time. It's a real place here on Earth. Welcome to Russia's Sakha Republic, better known as Yakutia, the coldest inhabited region on the planet. A land where winter is not just a season, it's a way of life, and survival is an everyday miracle. Far away in northeastern Siberia, hidden beneath layers of white wilderness, lies this icy kingdom. Here, temperatures can fall below -60 degrees Celsius, -76 degrees Fahrenheit, and a record low, a bone-shattering -71.2 degrees Celsius, -96 degrees Fahrenheit, was set in the small village of Oymyakon, the coldest permanently inhabited place on Earth. To put that in perspective, that's colder than some regions of Antarctica where no humans live year-round. Imagine stepping outside your door and feeling the air cut through you like a blade. Metal freezes in seconds. Tires crack. Even your saliva can crystallize before hitting the ground. And yet, people call this place home. Oymyakon, known as the Pole of Cold, is a village where time seems frozen too. Its small population of roughly 500 people live surrounded by endless white snowfields and silent mountains. The nearest city is hundreds of miles away, connected by rough, icy roads that disappear during blizzards. In this frozen corner of Earth, survival is built on ancient knowledge. People keep their cars running 24/7 during winter, because if the engine turns off, the oil and fuel freeze solid. Locals joke that cars here hibernate just like animals, except they never wake up if you let them sleep too long. Life here demands discipline. Homes are made of thick timber with multiple layers of insulation and wood-burning stoves that never stop burning. Water pipes are almost impossible to maintain, so families rely on collecting blocks of ice, melting them over fire, and storing water indoors. The cold is so unforgiving that even the simplest tasks become challenges. Washing clothes, cooking, or stepping outside to feed animals feels like walking through a freezer that never ends. And when the polar night arrives, the sun disappears for up to 21 hours a day. In that endless darkness, the only glow comes from wood fires and the northern lights swirling above like spirits of the sky. The people of Yakutia, known as the Sakha people, are among the toughest on Earth. Descendants of nomadic tribes, they have lived here for centuries, developing traditions that merge strength, faith, and respect for nature. Their diet is built on survival. Frozen fish, horse meat, reindeer fat, and raw frozen delicacies like stroganina, thin slices of frozen fish. These foods aren't just meals. They're survival fuel, packed with fat and protein to endure the relentless cold. Even their horses, the famous Yakut horses, have adapted to withstand -60 degrees Celsius without shelter, digging through snow to find grass beneath the ice. Children grow up learning to face this frozen world early. Schools in Oymyakon only close when temperatures drop below -52 degrees Celsius, -61 degrees Fahrenheit. Anything warmer than that is considered a normal day. You'll see kids bundled in layers of fur, scarves wrapped around their faces, tiny eyes peeking through frost-covered masks, walking to class through icy fog. They don't complain. For them, this is home. The resilience they carry is something that most of the world can barely imagine. But this land isn't empty. It hides extraordinary wealth beneath its frozen crust. The Sakha Republic is rich in diamonds, gold, oil, and natural gas. Nearly 99% of Russia's diamonds come from here. Yet, most of the people see little of this fortune. The ground is frozen solid for hundreds of meters, so mining is difficult, but industries have still found ways to extract wealth from the permafrost. In the capital city, Yakutsk, miners, scientists, and families coexist in one of the most extreme environments ever built upon. Yakutsk is officially recognized as the coldest city on Earth, with winter temperatures averaging -40 degrees Celsius, and yet over 350,000 people live there. Walking through Yakutsk, is like stepping into another world. The air feels heavy, sharp, and dry. Buildings stand high above the ground on stilts to prevent the heat from melting the permafrost, because if the ground thaws, the city could collapse. Cars are wrapped in blankets or parked in heated garages. People wear layers of fur so thick they look like walking mountains of wool. Even taking out your phone is dangerous. Batteries die within seconds. Yet, despite these brutal conditions, life continues to bloom. Cafes serve hot tea, children play in snow tunnels, and people still laugh in the face of the cold that threatens to break them every day. But Yakutia's beauty is not just in its people, it's in its silence. When you stand outside at night, surrounded by snow, so white it glows blue under the moonlight, the world feels still. The only sound is the whisper of the wind. Above you, the aurora borealis paints the sky, green, purple, and pink ribbons of light stretching across the heavens. For a moment, the cold disappears, and all that's left is wonder. Technology and modern life slowly creep into Yakutia, but the cold always wins. Internet signals often freeze out, fuel lines clog, and airplanes struggle to land in fog thicker than smoke. Travelers who visit this region say it feels like the edge of the world, a place untouched by time, where nature remains the true ruler. Many villages are so remote that they can only be reached by frozen rivers in winter or by helicopter in summer. There are no highways connecting most towns, only paths carved by generations of endurance. And yet, for the people here, leaving is never an option. They say, "Our cold keeps us alive." The cold protects their traditions, their community, and their way of life. It keeps outsiders away and preserves their world as it has always been, pure, quiet, and unbreakable. For them, warmth is not just about fire. It's about unity, family, and the strength to smile when the world freezes around you. In a world where most people fear discomfort, the people of Yakutia embrace it. They've built lives on the edge of impossibility, where nature decides who survives and only the strongest do. The coldest country on Earth isn't defined by numbers on a thermometer. It's defined by courage, endurance, and the human spirit that refuses to surrender. So the next time you complain about winter, remember the people of Yakutia, who live every single day in temperatures that would stop your heart in minutes. They've learned something the rest of us haven't. That life's warmth doesn't come from the weather, it comes from within. This is MOCO Views, where we journey to the world's most extreme corners, not just to tell stories, but to feel them. Subscribe now, because our next story might take you even deeper into the edge of human survival.